So we have already discussed about PN junction diode in the previous videos. A PN junction is that where we are taking a pure semiconductor, we are exactly dividing into two parts, and one side it is biased, one side it is doped with P type, and another side it is doped as N type. Like we are doping some impurities in such a way there are only two regions in case of a junction diode. Now what we do is, let me take a pure semiconductor. This is pure semiconductor. It is pure semiconductor, and this pure semiconductor I will divide this into three parts, and which are uneven parts. Uneven parts in the sense, like this is one part, this is another part, and this is another part. I'm just dividing the dimensions into three regions. This is first region, and this is second region, and this is third region. Okay, I have made it into three regions, and I will now dope the first region with, I can dope the first region with trivalent impurities, and second region I can dope it with pentavalent impurities, and this third region I can dope it with again trivalent impurities. So we are doping a pure semiconductor which is made into three different regions such that the regions are uneven. The size of region 1 is slightly greater than size of region 2. Size of region 3 is greater than size of region 1 and region 2. So size of region 3 is greater than 1 is greater than 2. Size of region 1 is greater than size of region 2. And we are doping with trivalent impurities, pentavalent impurities, and trivalent impurities. If you are doping it with trivalent, this become p-type semiconductor, and this, as you are doping it with pentavalent impurities, this become n-type semiconductor. As you are doping it with trivalent impurities, it become again p-type semiconductor, right? So PNP such that this is junction 1 and this is junction 2, right? And one more important thing which you should remember is the first region which you are doping it with trivalent, and this region is heavily doped. This region is heavily doped, and this region is moderately doped, and this region is lightly doped, right? This region is lightly doped. So we are taking a pure semiconductor divided into three regions such that size of region 3 is greater than 1, greater than region 2. And the first region we are doping it with a trivalent impurity such that it is heavily doped. Second region we are doping it with pentavalent impurity such that it is becoming n-type semiconductor and it is lightly doped. Third region is we are doping it with trivalent impurities, again it become a p-type semiconductor, and that is moderately doped. So because of this doping, there were two junctions observed in this pure semiconductor. Junction 1 between first p and n type, and junction 2 in between second n and p type. This device is called a transistor. This device is called a transistor, and remember that it is in the first region we are either doping a trivalent or you can even make it a pentavalent. Here you can even dope pentavalent impurities, or pentavalent. This middle region you can dope it with trivalent or pentavalent, and here the last region trivalent or pentavalent. Now you should make it in such a way, you should make this three regions in such a way, either it should be forming PNP regions or NPN region. So this is one type of transistor. This is first type and this is second type of transistor. So there are two type of transistors which can be configured. It can be either PNP transistor or NPN transistor. We can even construct NPN transistor where electrons are majority charge carriers. The working principle of PNP transistor or NPN transistor will be remained same. Only the carriers are different. In PNP it is holes and in NPN it is electrons. Only the current direction get reversed in PNP and NPN. Working function is same as it is, and the constituents of the parts of the transistor will be remained same as it is in both the transistors, NPN and as well as PNP. Now let me explain what are the components of a transistor. See, as I am considering, in most of the cases we are habituated to discuss with electrons. That's the reason why I am taking here NPN transistor. This is N, P and N. It can be even PNP also. That's not at all an issue. As here this is N type, there will be electrons. Majority charge carriers are electrons in region 1. And this is region 2 where holes are majority charge carriers, but it is less in size and even it is lightly doped. And in the N type region, there are majority charge carriers, electrons, and this is moderately doped. It is region number 3. And you have junction 1, this is J1, and this is junction 2. There are two junctions formed in a PNP or NPN transistor. And the first junction, like the first region, it is connected with one terminal. Second region, it is connected with one terminal. Third region, it is connected with one terminal. The first region which is connected with the terminal is said to be as emitter. And the second region which is connected with the terminal is called base region. And the third one, it is called collector. Okay. So one is emitter. The middle part is connected to the terminal called base, and the other one is collector. Emitter, base, collector. In PNP or NPN transistor, there will be emitter, base, and collector. All the three regions are same. So see here, this become emitter. This become base, and this become collector. In NPN transistor, this is emitter, and this is base, and this is collector. Fine. Now see, in between emitter and base, see we have two terminals, emitter and base, and here we have two terminals where there is a collector and base, and you can connect these two parts with a battery and these two parts with a battery, right? This is battery. You can use battery here and you can use battery here. And this is junction 1. First junction can be connected to a battery. Second junction is also can be connected to a battery. And here, as in a junction transistor, there are two junctions. That is the reason why it is said to be as BJT. BJT is bipolar junction transistor, or you can even call it as bijunction transistor. Bijunction transistor mean as there are two junctions here, 1 and 2. Two junctions are there. So that's the reason why it is said to be as bi-junction transistor. Two junctions. Junction 1 can be connected in forward bias or reverse bias. Junction 2 can be connected in forward bias and reverse bias. Either it can be NPN or PNP. There are 4 different ways you can bias a transistor, right? The biasing of transistor can be 4 different ways. So the biasing of a transistor, you can bias a transistor in such a way. This is junction 1 and junction 2. Junction 1 you can connect it in forward bias. Junction 2 you can connect it in forward bias. Junction 1 you can connect it in forward bias. Junction 2 you can connect it in reverse bias. Junction 1 you can connect it in reverse bias. Junction 2 you can connect it in forward bias. Junction 1 you can connect it in reverse bias. Junction 2 also you can connect it in reverse bias. So this is first use and this is second use. This is third use and this is the fourth use. So biasing of a transistor can be done in 4 different ways. And those 4 different biasing will make this transistor unique, which will be operated as multiple purpose. That's the reason why a junction transistor is also said to be as versatile device. Versatile mean it can be used in multi-purpose. In all electronic circuits, we can use a transistor, and this can be done. This can be used for multi-purposes. It can be used as a switch. It can be used as an amplifier. It can be used as an attenuator. Like it can be used in buffer circuits. It can be used in amplifier circuit. Like that, there are many uses for a transistor. So that's the reason why it is said to be as versatile device. And when we are biasing a junction transistor in forward bias, we consider it as switch on, and the first junction connected in forward bias, second junction connected in reverse bias. We make use of this type of biasing as amplifier, and first junction reverse bias, second junction forward bias, we consider it as attenuator. Attenuator is exactly reverse to that of amplifier. And the second junction, first junction reverse bias, second junction reverse bias, it is said to be off condition. So these 4 biasings can be done for a junction transistor. Yeah, students, now let us see what happens when you are connecting a transistor. The 2 junctions, one in forward bias and in the other one in reverse bias. So actually transistor is configured to use as an amplifier. Actually, when the transistor is being manufactured or when the transistor is being discovered, it is actually used as amplifier. So transistor is being made to use it as amplifier. That's the reason why. So when the junction 1 is connected in forward bias and junction 2 connected in reverse bias, this particular transistor act as an amplifier. It acts as an amplifier. So you may have doubt in your mind, what does this amplifier do? What does this amplifier do? So amplifier increases the strength of the signal. Amplifier increases the strength of the signal. Say like you will be having a mic. Mic is an amplifier. So actually, when you are, if suppose you are taking, you want to talk to 100 audience in a room or in a hall, what you will do? Directly with your mouth, you cannot do that. What we will do? We will be using a mic. What does that mic do? The voice which you are speaking, the voice which is coming out from your mouth, that is amplified by the microphone. That microphone will amplify the signal, and it is fed to the speakers, and those speakers will enlarge the signal. That is said to be as an amplifier. Likewise, if the input signal which you are providing is this is the input signal, and you are feeding it to amplifier. If you are providing such input signal to an amplifier, what does this amplifier do? It amplifies the signal and its strength is being increased. This is output signal, right? So an amplifier increases the strength of the signal, and a junction transistor is used as amplifier, and that is the main purpose of transistor. It can be used as an amplifier. So as transistor is used as amplifier when it is connected in, first junction is connected in forward bias, second junction is connected in reverse bias. How does it act as amplifier? Let us see that. Now, as it is P region, there are holes in this. There are holes. These are holes in P type, and in N type there are electrons, and again in P type there are holes. And as I already told you, emitter region is heavily doped, base region is lightly doped. This is base region, and this is emitter region, and this is collector region. So emitter region is denoted with E, base region is denoted with B, collector region is denoted with C. And emitter region is heavily doped, and base region is lightly doped. Collector region, of course, it is moderately doped. Remember, as you are heavily doping this emitter region and you are connecting it in forward bias, P type is connected to positive, N type is connected to negative. As a result, the holes are allowed to cross the first junction. All these holes are pushed in this direction because the field is from P type to N type. As a result, the holes, when they enter into this N region, the holes are entering into this N region. Some of the holes will be recombined with the electrons, and some of the holes which are entering into this base region, some of these holes which enter into this base region, they are being pulled by the collector region because it is reverse biased. And in case of reverse bias, what happens actually here? This is negative and this is positive. As a result, electric field in this is in this direction. Therefore, the holes which are majority charge carriers in emitter, they cross the first junction barrier and they enter into base region. And the second junction barrier, it is connected in reverse bias. As a result, what would happen? Before most of the holes recombine with electrons in N type, they are being pulled or they are being dragged towards the collector region. As a result, most of the holes from this emitter region cross and they enter into collector, right? Therefore, in a junction diode, like in this PNP transistor, what would happen is emitter emits holes and collector collects holes. So as collector is collecting the majority charge carriers which are coming from the emitter, it's named as collector. Emitter, it is providing holes or electrons, majority charge carriers, to the collector. That's the reason why it is named as emitter. Emitter mean that it emits. Collector mean that it collects. The base is the region which is in common for emitter and as well as collector, and it acts as just a mediator such that majority charge carriers can cross that region and it should enter into collector region. So as that is the reason why the size of the base is made minimum, and the doping of base region is also very less, because when most of the holes come into base region, if it is heavily doped, most of the holes get recombined with the electrons. As a result, the number of holes entering into collector region will be decreased. That's the reason why base is always lightly doped, emitter is always heavily doped, and collector is always moderately doped. And remember that the size of collector is been increased because most of the majority charge carriers are directly entering into the collector region. So therefore, there will be free space for the majority charge carriers in the collector to move. So therefore, the region of collector is made more than that of the emitter and as well as base. And the doping percentage of base is made less because in order to avoid recombination of majority and minority charge carriers, majority carriers entering into this base region without recombining with majority charge carriers of base region, they cross the barrier and they enter into the collector. This is the way an amplifier works out. A transistor is used as amplifier by connecting first junction in forward bias, second junction in reverse bias. Most of the majority charge carriers will cross the base region and enter into collector. Therefore, it acts as amplifier. Students, now let us see how current flows through a junction transistor. See, there is a transistor, NPN transistor, which is provided in the animation, and there are two junctions. PN junction, first junction is connected in forward bias, second junction is connected in reverse bias, and remember here emitter is in common for both base and as well as collector. So there will be three different types of configurations which you can connect a transistor, that we will be discussing that now. Like, as we know, we have three components: emitter, base, and collector. Emitter can be common for both base and collector, and that is called common emitter configuration. Common emitter configuration. Say for example, this is a transistor and this is emitter, it is base and it is collector. Emitter can be connected in common for both collector and as well as base. This is CE configuration. CE configuration states that common emitter configuration. Emitter is common for both base and as well as collector. It can be connected in either forward bias or reverse bias. This is forward bias and this is reverse bias, and it is NPN transistor. This is common emitter configuration. Likewise, you have common base configuration. Common base configuration. Common base configuration mean you have a transistor. This is emitter, base, and collector. Base is in common for first and second. This is forward bias. It is PNP transistor, and this is also forward bias. Like our wish, you can connect it in both forward bias or reverse bias. That depends upon the utility. But here base is common, right? This base is common. Common for both the junctions, for P and P. For emitter and collector, base you are connecting in common. That's the reason why it is said to be common base configuration. Common base configuration, in this base is connected to the ground in common with emitter and collector, right? This is common base configuration. So first type of configuration is common emitter, second type of configuration is common base, and the third type of configuration is common collector. Common collector configuration. Common collector configuration means collector is in common. Common collector, it is said to be a CC configuration. So we have connected this collector region in common for both base and as well as emitter. It is connected to ground. Collector is connected to the ground. So collector is in common for both emitter and base region, right? And this is called CC configuration. CC configuration. So totally there are three types of configurations which a junction transistor can be used. Number one, it is CE configuration, and number two, CB configuration, and number three, CC configuration, right? And in CE configuration, you can connect it in four ways: forward, 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 reverse, reverse, forward, reverse, reverse. And common base configuration, again, you can connect it in four ways. Common collector configuration, you can connect it in four ways. Okay. So of course, in your higher standards, you will be learning about in detail how you can connect this CE, CB and CC configurations. But in our intermediate standard, we are only restricted to CA configuration, that too only as amplifier, right? So this is CE configuration. We will be discussing about CE configuration in detail and current through the CE configuration in next video lecture.